so much. Next, I'd like to introduce Betsy Hartmann, who is a professor at Hampshire College and also with us today from Population and Development.
Hi, wonderful to be here again. Been here for many years. The title of my remarks today is Something There Is That Doesn't Love a Wall. The first line of Robert Frost's famous poem about two neighbors rebuilding the stone wall that divides their land after a long winter. Since Frost was a New England poet, and it's at least supposed to be spring out there, I thought the poem would be fitting. When Frost's neighbor tells him, "Good fences make good neighbors," the poet wishes he could ask, why do they make good neighbors? Before I built a wall, I'd ask to know what I was walling in or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offense. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that wants it down. Yes, something there is that doesn't love a wall, that doesn't love the border fence between Mexico and the United States. The price of immigration reform, they tell us, is to militarize it even more, to send drones over southern Arizona and sign fat cat contracts with the arms and surveillance industries. Full employment for ICE. Something there is that doesn't love the concrete and barbed wire that separate Israel from Palestine, Fortress Europe from North Africa, the inmates of Guantanamo from the due process of law. Something there is that doesn't like armed police enforcing boundaries of race, class, gender, sexuality, and nationality in our city streets, frisking and profiling, arresting and imprisoning for the crime of being other. Oh yes, something there is that doesn't love prison walls and the war on drugs, that doesn't love the war on terror and drone attacks in Afghanistan and Pakistan, that doesn't love the NRA and assault weapons. Like walls, guns keep us safe, they say, but there is no safety in little children being mowed down in suburban elementary schools or caught in the crossfire in urban America. Something there is that doesn't love the wall the anti-abortion movement puts between people and access to abortion, contraception, sex education, and reproductive and sexual health and rights. But the thing about walls and the powers that be is that there's a certain selectivity involved. Build walls in some places, but tear them down in others. And so it is with the Keystone XL pipeline and the mining of the Canadian tar sands. Strike down environmental regulations, strike down indigenous land rights, let the fossil fuel industry ravage the landscape at will. Hack and frack our way into so-called national energy independence without doing anything serious about the very serious problem of climate change. And so it is with the land grabs and green grabs in Africa, Latin America, and Asia, where small farmers and indigenous communities are being thrown off their lands and robbed of their customary rights to make way for corporate agriculture, biofuel production, and carbon offset schemes. The figures are staggering. Large land deals in Africa since the year 2000 now account for almost 5% of the continent's total agricultural area, a territory the size of Kenya. This is a reproductive justice issue. Something there is that doesn't like these new enclosures, or the movement of more and more US troops and drones into Africa as the next frontier of imperial ambition. Something there is, but is it really something or all of us? People working together to dismantle the walls that need dismantling and protect the ones that need protection so we can grow the common good, the common ground, a politics of the commons based on justice, reproductive justice, economic justice, social justice, racial justice, environmental justice, climate justice. Every year, that is what we explore at this conference, how to come together, not despite, but because of our diversity, to find ways to connect our movements and to learn from each other, to gather strength and gather spirit. Spring is the mischief in me, Frost says towards the end of his famous poem. Yes, mischief too, daring to think outside the box and to move beyond the walls that try, ultimately without success, to fence in the wonderfully fertile ground of our individual and collective imaginations. Thank you. I'd like to take the opportunity